What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show. My name is Justin, and I'm with my man Meelz.
Yo.
Once again, this is the 14th episode. We're nearing 20. We got to do a special episode for the 20th.
We didn't even think we were going to get this far.
I didn't think we'd get to 10.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's amazing. Whatever. 14 weeks, talking wrestling, straight.
I'm still in love. It
is what it is. How's the workload of 2 podcasts a week now? Since we have launched the RNC Radio with Josh Pease.
Yeah.
How is it? Do you feel what I'm feeling now?
Well, I'm launching a third. There's a third coming.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There's a third. I mean,
just become, we're new podcast network or something along those lines. But yeah, it's you know what? It's like, it's work that you shouldn't be able to complain about, but it's still a bit taxing.
Yeah. Well, when you're producing it, I want to find someone to produce these shows, just so that I can get some of the workload off. But I know that for the first couple of weeks, you got to grind, you got to do it. There's no one else that's going to do it for you, and that's just the way I feel about it. But I mean, it has been a big learning experience. I do this. Of course, we do the A shows on Wednesdays in case people don't know. But then I have RNC Radio on Tuesdays. So it ends up, it's a part of my schedule now. I don't do anything. I don't do anything when I get home from work anyway. So what's the point? Yeah, I'm after that I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then it's back to this. And it's all for the love. And I think that's what people, I want everyone to know. I do this, and I did the A show out of love. And I didn't bring back I didn't bring back Voice of the Voiceless or anything like that. I brought this back, because I wanted to do something that I loved. And I hit you up. I remember hitting you up saying, let's do a wrestling podcast. Let's just do it tomorrow. And we just did it,
I was not ready.
Yeah. We just did it. And
it took me 15 minutes to reconsider. I was like, you know what, let's just do it.
Yeah, because it's fun. And it's something that I watch every single week. It's something I want to talk about. And in a long form way, I think that it's a great way for us to just recap everything. And I know that there are people who recap every single show that happens after it happens. That would kill me. That would kill you.
Yeah, that would kill me.
And I think I would
not be happy.
Yeah, the way that we do it, shorthand, it really works. And, we're constantly improving the show, constantly doing things that make the show better. I'm getting new equipment for the show now. I'm getting new equipment to make it sound better.
I'm also looking into new equipment, so.
Yeah, so we're trying to make it a better show for you guys and just make it more professional and make it sound more professional and get great guests, it's all in the planning of it. But yes, there's a third J5 podcast coming, and I'm supposed to be shooting that this weekend. I can't really reveal the details yet, but it is coming. And we also have shows from Cliff Skywalker coming, and we've had really good conversations about that. From our homie Mark, my man MC is coming up with a podcast very soon with our boy Jeff, old news boy, the biggest thought of the millennium. And we have Robbie
He's
Rav.
Like all members of Brockhampton in one. He literally is. He's the coolest guy. Fuck.
And then we have Robbie Rav coming with his own podcast. So we've got a slate coming. It's just we just want the people to be patient with us, and we also want there to be patience within each other, just to kind of trust each other with what's going on. And if I have to hold it, if I have to hold it down until everyone's ready, I'll gladly do that.
Listen, this is what we do. But you know what? Enough talking about our lives. Let's get to wrestling in the week.
Crazy week in wrestling. I don't think that anyone could have guessed that the last 48 hours would end up the way that they did for a certain person. I think a lot of the no holds barred segment is going to deal with the issue in question. I don't think there was a bigger news story, and I don't think there's anything that either of us would really want to talk about more than this right now, or have to talk about right now. But obviously a lot of people already know what's going down with Enzo Amore and what has happened with him. It came out, or word came down on Monday morning, literally early Monday morning on Pacific time, probably early afternoon on the East Coast. A young woman accused Enzo Amore and 2 of his associates of drugging and raping her. the details are graphic. She went into more specific details on TMZ, which you can probably find on their website. And from that moment on Monday, the night of Raw 25, Enzo Amore was suspended. So that during Raw 25, he was gone. He vacated the cruiserweight title, everything. Tuesday comes around. I want to say, you know, no one expected it to just be as swift as it was. Enzo Amore is let go. He is released from the company. You know, no waiting for the investigation, even though there is an ongoing investigation for the Phoenix police that we're waiting on right now, or everyone's waiting to see what's going on. But just an insane 48 hours for one Enzo Amore.
They did not wish him the best in his future endeavors. This is how I know this is very serious. Gosh, like this whole thing, and you know, I think we've talked about it. I know you've talked about it on RNC Radio, and I've talked about it on my own podcast, Two Belts, just separately about these, you know, these rising sexual allegations, sexual misconduct that's been just in the media lately, and it sparked, you know, the Me Too movement. It sparked a lot of things, and this is a conversation we're having about, you know, just power and you know, sexual misconduct and everything. And I think we all wondered, you know, eventually when would it, you know, would it spill over to the WWE, and it has in this situation. That these accusations are very serious, and I applaud WWE for taking swift action, because I think, you know.
Do you think they were too swift? Because I know a lot of people on Twitter think they were
swift. I think lately, especially with, I guess, how everything in the media is sort of portrayed, it happened once they found out. I think they took swift action because they didn't want this to linger on and be caught by a ton more news outlets.
Oh, it hit TMZ, it hit Time, it hit ESPN. It hit a lot of outlets that do not cover WWE normally because of the nature of the accusations, and because of just what it is right now. It's literally, this is the kiss of death. To even be said that this is going on with you, or to even be accused, it's the kiss of death. And I want to clarify and actually shout out reporters like Sean Ross Sapp and Ryan Satin, a lot of people that have been reporting on this. They've been doing great. Well, specifically those two have been doing an excellent job of reporting and keeping people up to date on what's going on. They have the full details of what was said and what's going on with the girl's testimony and how she might not be telling the truth and stuff like that. And I just want to get it all out in the open here. And I don't know if you feel me on this too, Meelz. Like, I believe women all day and tomorrow. I believe women all day. If it comes out that she has lied, you call it a spade, and that's what it is. But I'm not taking YouTube videos. I'm not taking videos of someone's texts as I'm not taking that as innocence. And I think that people are trying to use that to get Enzo his job back. And I think the deeper issue is, and let's get into this as well, this accusation, I don't think this was the only reason why they let him go yesterday.
No, it couldn't have been. And that's something I also want to talk about, is just, you know, WWE for a long time now has been a public traded company. Hell, they just went to the New York Stock Exchange 2 days ago for Raw 25.
Yeah.
Very, you know, they've been, over the past, I guess, 20 years, I mean, they've had their ups in the Attitude Era, and they've had their downs since the Attitude Era left, but they're finally back in an upswing. They finally have a great trajectory. The stock is doing well. The network is doing well. Everything is doing well. I think they're handling themselves with a lot more professionalism as a company, much more than just like a wrestling company where like things get, you know, where concussions will go really, you just, you know, work yourself, you know, you just work another night. Like, these are things that are happen, or stingers, things that happen to Paige where they respond immediately, like, okay, she will not compete in the Royal Rumble. Okay, you know, we have suspended people for wellness violations and all these things, and that's why I say they acted pretty swiftly, and I have to applaud them for that. I think with Enzo Amore, I think he was on thin ice. And, you know, we saw the reports late last year, earlier in middle of the year, late last year, about him being kicked off a tour bus, about, just, him bragging and the, braggadocio and everything like that, and rubbing people the wrong way a lot backstage. And I guess just more so, the reason for this firing, at least that's in terms of what people are saying, is that he did not report it to WWE officials that there is an open investigation going on, which is a big no-no.
In October. I've seen someone say, well, if I was innocent, I wouldn't say anything either. And look more guilty? Like, what's
the worse?
That makes you look worse. Like, the fact that he didn't say anything in October and he knew this was going on, the fact that there's a video of him freestyling on Peter Rosenberg about it. You can find it on Twitter. You can find it on you can find it on YouTube. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's something where it's like,
he's pompous.
At least it will. I mean, I'm sure maybe he was afraid of getting fired. I'm sure maybe he was, but at the same time, it's like you're able to tell your story. You can go up to WWE officials, say, "Hey, there's this open investigation going on about so and so forth. I just want to let you know that I'm innocent." You're able to give them your side of the story. You're able to think, and maybe you work through it, or maybe it's a suspension, and then they sort of see what goes on from there. Maybe they do what they did in this response situation, where he's suspended indefinitely until the results of whatever trial or case or something along those lines happens. But just to not tell someone and being part of a company, just a sort of professionalism, it's just, gosh, man, it's just stupid.
And then you and just to get down to like the actual personnel that he's hanging with, and we've all seen him hanging with or taking pictures with Belly and The Weeknd and stuff like that. But when you look deeper into it, look at the people that this woman is saying. Even just the people he's around. These are people that, I'm sorry, the cruiserweight champion should not be hanging out around. Like,
I 100% agree. I mean, I think he's worried more about raising his profile outside of the ring, which is one way to get over, as opposed to working on what's going on inside of the ring. And I think that's a slap in the face to a lot of people, especially when you brag about it so much that, so many girls, so many sneakers, so many diamonds, so much Versace, Louis Vuitton, all this other stuff. And you brag about that instead of, working on your craft and showing people you can be professional. That's probably one of the reasons why it was so easy to sort of fire him, and not really, why he was on thin ice in the first place, and why it was just, a matter of time. It was a matter of time for Enzo Amore. I'll say it. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago about how he needs to find the balance and separate Enzo Amore, the gimmick, from whoever he is in his real life, and sort of find the balance. And I think a lot of people fall. A lot of people they have this sort of downturn in their career, and they aren't able to pick up because they're trying to accommodate this lifestyle. They're trying to live up to this lifestyle or something along those lines, and it just doesn't work out. It never works out. If he hadn't been trying to sort of live this life, and maybe that's the life he just wants to live. But he said he's
the new age Flair, and I nigga please that very loudly.
But it's not. It's just, I think, your priorities. If your priorities was even in check, as Shawn Michaels said, if your head was even screwed on remotely on tight, you would have been able to figure this out and possibly avoid an entire situation that just happened to you. And now you've lost your job. It isn't, he's 31 years old. He's still pretty young. I don't know what he can do after this, but he's lost a lot. It's crazy.
And people are like, well, it looks like she could be lying. And I'm like, listen, first of all, just can that shit. Like, just stop all of that shit right now. This was deeper. Terrible. This is deeper. Yeah, just even to say that. It's deeper than that for Enzo. And I feel for this woman. If this did happen, I feel for her. If it didn't happen, I'll pray for her. But at the end of the day, Enzo Amore, it was either this or it was going to be something else. And I don't even know why people are dying on a hill for Enzo. No one has enjoyed his matches. No one watches 205 Live. No one, literally, no one likes this guy. But now it's a problem.
He's not a big enough blip on the radar where it actually sort of affects something. I mean, he was on 205 Live, and no offense to everyone on 205 Live, but it's, you know, the least watched show out of all the sort of weekly shows, and it just doesn't have that attention to it. He brought a lot of attention to it from being on the main roster and being a star there, but he's not someone. If the company can go on after CM Punk left, after Stone Cold Steve Austin walked out, after, you know, all these other things, Hulk Hogan back in the 90s, we will be just fine without Enzo Amore. But I don't think it's anything to die on a hill on.
Yeah,
like, it's he's not worth it. Trust me.
Trust me.
He's not worth it.
There is going to be another Enzo Amore one day, because you know who we compared him to. We compared him to the Road Dogg, and there was somebody before him, and there's going to be somebody before him. There's going to be somebody after. There's going to be somebody after him, and let's just get to the fallout of the Enzo Amore firing. I mean, obviously, he is not the Cruiserweight champion anymore. They addressed this on 205 Live, one of the first 205 Lives I've watched in weeks, from start to finish.
Oh, really? I just watched the beginning. Sorry.
But Daniel Bryan, because I wanted to see if there was something else that was going to happen. But
the Cedric Alexander and what's his face?
Mustafa Ali match, awesome.
Yeah, Mustafa Ali.
It was an awesome match.
Maybe I'll go back.
They said on TV they're literally pulling like the Benoit thing with him here, or the Hogan thing.
Yeah, that's sort of what I got memories of. Just the night after the Benoit thing happened and Vince McMahon appearing on ECW. I remember it so vividly, of him just saying, you know, after recent, you know, reports of what happened, we will not move forward with anything sort of Chris Benoit, and he will be, you know, removed from all WWE programming and all this other stuff. Yep.
And so they've stripped him of the title. Daniel Bryan appeared kayfabe on the show to say that there is going to be a new general manager, or there is going to be a general manager on 205 Live, and that there will be a situation, the situation with the title will be addressed at that point. 205 Live looks to be moving on. WWE looks to be moving on. I'm pretty sure that's it after this week. They're not bringing it up again. I just on the immediate things, Nia Jax is out of a storyline at this point.
Probably for the best.
Yeah,
right now.
She didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it anyway, and that makes that storyline even creepier, to be honest.
Yeah. It really does. Looking back in hindsight, I'm like, damn, it's so bad. But it's
it's even worse now that they're even putting him in a relationship angle with Nia, and I mean, good on her. She dodged a bullet. I think she was a major reason why the 205 house shows did so well over the weekend that we thought were going to do awful, but they did really well. I think that she also proved that when big stars do come to 205 Live, it does move the needle. So I don't think that we're going to get the end of that. I think they're going to continue to do stuff like that. I think that this is yet another chance for 205 Live, which is a brand that has been cursed since day one, to restart and really regrow again and find some new talent and get. I think this is a good thing. It's a net positive for 205 Live.
I think it's a good thing too. I think it's a solid. It's not a complete reboot, but it kind of is. And I think adding a general manager, on one hand, it kind of makes Kurt Angle look ineffective because the cruiserweights are on the Raw roster.
He forgot that they even existed. The CTE in his brain made him forget about that shit.
But now that they're actually adding a general manager, there can be some semblance of order and just like logic and like why things happen for the reason why they happen. I have no idea who will be the general manager.
I think it's Rockstar Spud. I think it'll be Rockstar Spud, and I think that that's a good idea because he is a general manager that can get over in that role, but he can also wrestle. So that's good to have a balance where when the time comes, he can get into the ring and wrestle as well.
Okay, I support that. I've not seen the Spud yet, but I will have to watch videos online.
I say I would have thought that they would do an over the top rope thing for the title on Sunday, just because there's a big gaping hole where that match was supposed to be at.
3 Rumbles, damn it! Nah.
That would have been dope.
I love it. 3 Rumbles, kickoff show Rumble.
Goddamn, pal. But I believe that we're going to get another tournament. Oh, God, another fucking tournament. And
I'm fine. No, I'm not. We've had too many tournaments.
I think that you do a tournament, but you don't have Cedric in it. Because I don't get why he'll have to. He's been fucked over for 2 months now. Like, he was supposed to have this match on New Year's.
Yeah.
And that tournament started at the top of December.
Well, here's the thing. Like, even with the show, like, I think you just need. Now you bring Neville back. Now you bring Neville fucking back. But like, it's.
Oh, just imagine he comes back and he gets a Tommy first.
Yeah, the show is weird, man.
It's a weird show, but I think they're trying to right the ship. There's one thing I can say is that you can't say that WWE is not trying with this show. They have not killed it.
They definitely are. But when you lose, they've lost. First, Noam Dar is injured. Rich Swann suspended. Enzo Amore fired. Neville questionable. Like,
it's tough. It's tough.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's really tough. But that and ironically, one more thing I just wanted to add on these notes. The Royal Rumble is taking place next year. Where? In Phoenix, Arizona, which is the exact same place that Enzo Amore was allegedly during the act. And yeah, just awkwardness all around. And I think that's another thing WWE took into consideration. This motherfucker did it there. So Enzo Amore, good riddance. Goodbye. I'm pretty sure a fucking shitty indie promotion is probably already calling you like crazy right now just to get you on the show. You'll have a shoot interview. I'm pretty sure that when it does eventually come out, we'll review it on the A show. But in the words of Big Cass, karma's a bitch.
Karma is a bitch. He was right.
But let's get into Raw 25. And it sucks that we're going from a bad thing to a bad thing.
Raw 25. All right, so I'll say this. I had no expectations for Raw 25.
How did you not? The way they pushed it like it was WrestleMania.
All right, so I was excited, but I had no expectations on what I deserved to have happen. I was like, okay, we have Miz versus Roman Reigns, or we have something other. There'll be matches. I saw I guess there's a huge list of people who are there, and I was just like, how in the Jesus are we going to get all these people on the show?
Yeah,
and
32 people, 32 acts that they announced.
Raw 25, I think it opened my eyes to one thing. Raw 25 opened my eyes to the fact that WWE has not created a star in over 15 years.
They're close.
Literally,
Punk was a star.
CM Punk. Besides, they have not created a star who wants to come back.
Daniel Bryan's a star. No, I can't call. I call foul on that, Meelz. I'll have to say, like,
everyone they brought back is older than old. They are so old. They have moved on. They have no interest in getting back in the ring. It would have been great to see a generational match. Maybe, maybe MVP versus, somebody or one of those matches. But literally none of them got into the ring. And it's just, you look at the sort of stars and you go back, you see Trish Stratus. They brought Terry. They brought, the APA. These are all people whose best moments were during the Attitude Era of the 2000 and 2001, 1999. And we don't see anybody in the sort of that aughts era. We don't see a Carlito coming back. Dolph Ziggler didn't bother to return. Any tag teams from those era, we didn't see a Gene Snitsky return.
We're not asking for those guys. I think the most glaring omission from Monday might have been Randy Orton. I don't think he was on the show at all. But I kind of agree that there are any stars, but I think there are stars, but we're using different metrics to determine who those stars are right now.
D-Generation X is older than old. Like, they were old 10 years ago when they came back.
But listen, Raw 25, no one except for Stone Cold Steve Austin and Brother Love, no one got over. No, not even the cameos got over. No, that show did nobody a favor. And I think, like, I see your argument, but, like, no one was over on that show. Like, literally, like, that New York crowd was dead. They fucked over the Manhattan crowd, like, fully. And we'll get to that in a second. But it's like, I think the only new people that looked good at the end of this show was Elias and Finn Balor. And that's it. They're the only people that look good.
I don't think it was a show for, I guess, progression. Even though the Royal Rumble is Sunday, and it would have been nice if we got some huge progress. But it was a show that said, hey, we got a big Royal Rumble coming up. We got, big things coming up. We got this. They're selling the Rumble by just the Rumble itself. So it's like, we're going to sell this show. And by all means, the show did amazing. It was the highest rated Raw, and it got to be, I
3 years.
Remember.
3 years.
It did amazing. They brought back a lot of old stars, and a lot of people tuned in to see it. My friends on the timeline who do not watch wrestling, even on a yearly basis, tuned in to watch Stone Cold Steve Austin come back, tuned in to see Trish Stratus, tuned in to see DX in all their, glory, and Razor Ramon. But, the show, it just, the way it was structured and organized, I just didn't get it. Yeah. I didn't see how we couldn't have made these legends an integral part of the current WWE product. You don't have to, it's one night and you can do it. And I think they did it. Raw 15th anniversary, Raw 1000. I think they
those
managed
were better
to do
shows.
It with those.
Raw 1000 was a way better show than this.
Raw 1000. I remember that show only because it was the night Punk said, stop trying to little bro me. I'm big homie now. But
it also had it also had great matches on the show. Also, and the thing is, the fact that you're even talking about that moment, you're not talking about shit from this. Anything. Yeah. I mean, obviously the Vince McMahon moment with Stone Cold was great, and I think it further proves that there's no better chemistry in the game, period. 20 years later, 25 years later than Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. Just a great promo itself. You could tell Vince was crying too, by the way, when he walked out. He was he was bawling when he came out.
I would be too. Just a great creation that's lasted 25 years.
Yeah.
And I've lasted 25 years to watch it all.
Yeah. He was crying. I was like, I thought he hit the loud a little bit, but he didn't. But I just thought that you relegate the performers and the legends and the returning stars to poker segments, and I think really the only cool returning spot, the Stone Cold spot was cool. I think the Dudley Boy spot would have been cool if you hadn't fucking announced it 2 weeks ago. I
think the Dudley Boys spot would have been cool if it wasn't the Dudley Boys.
I thought you know what would have made it cooler? If they were in the Manhattan Center when they did it. They did nothing there. They had an Undertaker segment, which completely fucking confused me. I don't know if he's coming back or not. I don't really care at this point.
He came out and just like a public service announcement. Rest in peace. I'm like, duh.
Yeah, I had no clue what he was talking about there. They gave you they blew. Can we talk about how they fucking blew Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt on TV?
Oh, easily. Let's talk about that, because we have gone through possibly 8 weeks of laughing, just laughing. And staring
for a 5
and laughing
minute match
and pointing and laughing. And this match, it happened. First of all, it happened at the less superior venue.
Yes,
which
clearly
they made it abundantly clear that one venue was over the other. And I remember when I was talking about this show, I was like, "You're gonna probably want to be at the Barclays Center." I don't know how they're gonna do 2 shows, but the Barclays Center is by far where most of the people are at. So they did it at the far less superior thing. And it ended 4 minutes, 7 minutes, something
5 minutes. I think 5:08 or something like that. It was a fucking bad match in itself anyway. Why the fuck do I want to see this again? I don't want to see this match again. We're gonna get it again.
I think Matt Hardy works well in longer doses. I think I'll give him enough credit to say he can have a good long match, but I don't know if he could have a good short match.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because I know they're going to give it to us again.
Yeah, easily. 3 or 4 times.
But, what else did they have in the Manhattan? Well, they had the big DX spot that closed that almost closed the show until they ran overtime. And I thought that was a cool moment. That was a great way. But, there's a lot of these segments that would have worked better in the Manhattan Center instead of the Barclays Center.
I think, and they should have done more for them, and I feel sorry for them because those tickets were not cheap.
These people paid all this money and they didn't even get to see Cena. Cena didn't even come out. It's insane.
Bro, Cena can't. They're watching it on the. You paid almost half of $1,000 to watch closed circuit television from the 80s. It kind of, I would ask for my money back.
Then
they still gave me matches, so I really can't.
Then they got 205 Live matches. out of that in between during
they
commercials.
Just take 205 Live there.
That would have been fire. That would have been fire. But then you also run the risk of having Enzo on that show.
Oh my god!
But luckily,
so right.
He was suspended already. But
and then you had JR and King dozing off.
Oh, you had JR and King stinking up the joint for the whole night. Did this motherfucker say that Dash Wilder, if that is his real name? What?
Oh my god, he did say that.
Like, I not only that, it just seems like they don't have any clue of who the current guys are, and it's like, I could also say like, I can blame WWE for that, but I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure you've been briefed on what happened. You have a podcast every week, and you have people to talk to you about it.
They're detached from it's like they're working sort of out of context, and while they are professionals, they say good. It's hard to sort of jump back after being out so long and jump back and try to provide the same energy that you were doing on a week-to-week basis. So I can't really blame them, because to me, everything after JR has been fired, in terms of JR announcing, it just, unless it was a tournament or something, I don't think it's been really, really, amazing. I think once he gets in it, once there's context, once there's passion, once there's a reason to be fired up about something. These were all pretty much just like legends and just exhibition matches that he was calling. It wasn't anything that sort of riled up about. You would get classic JR.
Yeah. I mean, be clear, he was awful during the Mae Young Classic too. He was pretty bad there as well. Yeah. He's bad on New Japan. He was bad on Wrestle Kingdom. I never thought I'd see the day when JR fell off.
Well, he's past his prime. He doesn't have a reason to care anymore. But, can we talk about the pop for Eric Bischoff? My God.
Yet another segment that bewildered and confused me.
They should have used him in the show.
Thank you. Then instead they had, I question who had to write this show. Like, remember last week's Smackdown when we both said like this felt like it was written like that day? Yeah. This show, which has been promoted for almost 2 months, maybe. This felt like it was written in a day. It felt like it was a Raw that was like a regular Raw.
My God.
It was bad.
I don't know. It was just, you have multiple general managers, former general managers, popular general managers. Well, I don't know about John Laurinaitis, but...
But then you bring out Daniel Bryan.
You trot them on stage.
Then you bring out Daniel Bryan, who's not even on... Like, why couldn't Daniel Bryan...
He was never a Raw GM.
He was never a Raw GM.
He was against the Raw GM. It's just months ago. They bring him out there. It's like, hey, and special guest,
he got beat up. GM. He got beat up on Raw in October.
Gosh. He did, like Kane. Oh my God!
Could we not talk about Occupy Raw? Could we not talk about the cage match with Bray Wyatt, which was the moment that Daniel Bryan became the megastar he is? Can we not talk about any of that stuff?
I think they could have gave him a fire promo, maybe something just against like, I feel like sometimes you have where you like. They used to do this like a couple of years ago where they bring Shawn Michaels out and they were trying to maybe get over like Hell in a Cell or something. And they bring Shawn Michaels out and it's like, man, this is just, you got an uphill battle.
Yeah.
They could have done something along those lines with, Daniel Bryan. Like if you really want to make it to WrestleMania, like you got to do anything possible and maybe just something in the ring or something with Cena or something along those lines, just something cool. Integrate them in the show. I don't see why Eric Bischoff couldn't have been in the show. I feel like they trotted the general managers and the divas, they sort of trotted them on stage in this sort of fake
Don't call them divas. Don't call them divas.
I'm sorry. Well, they were divas.
Legendary women. The legend. They didn't call them divas. They called them women. Oh, okay. Legendary women.
Legendary women of our time.
Which again, you had a 6-woman tag match that earlier that night, and you couldn't integrate any of the women into that. No. And to be fair, with the women's segment, I think maybe one of them might be showing up on Sunday, so they probably didn't want to put them in the ring at that point. Mm-hmm. But I don't like what they did with them either.
I would have been, listen, you have, damn near half the Rumble is still empty. I don't think it would have killed them to just be like, oh, and I'm also going to be in the Royal Rumble this Sunday. If Trish Stratus announces on Raw, I will be in the Royal Rumble this Sunday, I'm fucking tuning in to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. There's no.
I'm not tuning in for the possibility of Trish Stratus, and then I get like Ivory. Like,
see, Meelz, you dislike this show a lot more than you thought you did.
It's just some stuff didn't make any sense. I was just like, come on, are we really doing this? Like, Trish Stratus is in great shape. Tori Wilson, great shape. Like,
I think Jackie looked good. I think that Lita wasn't there, which is odd, but I'm for sure.
I feel like sometimes she just shows. She's like, nah, I'm not feeling it.
I'm for sure that she's going to be there in some capacity on Sunday. I think everyone's going to be there. I know one thing you did like was that Miz is now the 8-time Intercontinental Champion. That's the biggest thing that happened on the show. It was pretty good match. It went around 13 minutes.
Let's talk about it, because you know how we mentioned Raw 1000. Raw 1000 is where the Miz won his first Intercontinental Championship. And now at Raw 25, he's winning his 8th Intercontinental Championship. And it's just a feel-good moment. I feel good about it. I feel good about the Miz taking the Intercontinental Championship at 9:22 p.m. and at 10:22 p.m. he's at the Manhattan Center throwing it in everyone's faces. That was not shown on TV, by the way, which is fucking preposterous. It would have been a great moment that they never expected. They're like, oh shit, we're gonna get another two. Nope, Miz, he's here. You didn't see him coming. Like, it would have been a great moment. I think Roman Reigns and the Miz, I was hoping it would be the main event, but I guess they were saving it for Brock. But it was a good match. It was the only relatively good match of the show. This show was not a match heavy show, nor do I think with everyone that appeared and everything that happened it should have been.
Yeah.
But because I think you may have lost more viewers by it trying to be a match heavy show, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I did like the match. I did like the moment with Finn and DX, or Finn and Balor Club and DX. Like, I really do think they are positioning Finn to do some big stuff. I'm not sure. I put him on my short list for the Rumble, but we'll get to that in a few. But I like that segment as well. But as a whole, this is probably one of the most disappointing shows of a short year that only has 24 days in it so far.
Yeah, I would say so. It's a lot of appearances on Raw. I like Jericho's appearance on Raw, his brief appearance. Forgot
he was on there. You have Jericho, by far the hottest wrestler out right now, and you put him in a fucking backstage segment with Elias, and that's it.
Yeah, he's in the backstage as Elias is walking to the ring for his actual segment. Like, it was so weird. I feel like they definitely made their attempt to. We've got to fit everybody in the show. You know, you have, General Manager Kurt Angle and the coach comes in. And I'm just like, the coach? Really? This is what we're doing? And Teddy Long and Brother Love and the Boogeyman. And I'm just like, okay, clearly we have no idea what was going on with this show. And we're just trying to fit in everybody where they fit in. But I knew this was going to happen.
Just weird. Just odd pairing and an odd choice. Let's get into SmackDown, I guess. SmackDown, much better show this week. 100% much better show.
That's cool.
Rebounded completely. I think just the match quality. I think why I like this so much, this episode so much, was because I expected nothing from it. Because I thought they were gonna dead it. It was just gonna be a lame duck episode, but we got a really good Shinsuke Nakamura TV match.
Wow, against Baron Corbin. Worked together so damn long.
Yes, it's been 6 months, and they finally got one good match out of it. I thought it was great. Randy Orton comes in with the RKO, of course, making it known there are no friends, and the friendship between he and Nakamura has dissolved. Not a real heel turn, but just more of like Rumble, kayfabing, where it's like, okay, every man for himself.
Should they turn Randy? I feel like it's.
Do you care? I
really don't, but at the same time, it's like, Nakamura, he's been arcading you behind your back for months, man. This isn't the first time this has happened. Maybe he's just an asshole. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, he's a tweener. I think he's a rare tweener. That's why I wouldn't have him turn full heel, because he's a tweener. Okay. You also had a really good Jey Uso, I believe, and Chad Gable match. Really good match. I'm very much looking forward to the 2 out of 3 falls match. I'm pretty sure it will fall, so to speak, in the pre-show. So make sure you guys look out for that.
You think so? I don't think so.
I think that match is pre-show bound. If they're moving the cruiserweight, if the cruiserweight match is not there, they have to move one of those matches to the pre-show.
Maybe, yeah.
And they cut the U.S. title match, so it can't be that either.
That's true.
There is a very gaping hole in there. But I think the biggest storyline here is, once again, we're treading water with the AJ Styles, Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn storyline. I think there is an obvious Kevin Owens injury. I think he has a back injury that he's working through. That's why during the main event, which was AJ Styles in a gauntlet match between the two, that he only wrestled for 1 minute. I think it's super obvious that he has some type of lingering injury going on, and I'm wondering if that's going to affect the match on Sunday.
I probably no doubt in my mind it will, and I think to possibly preserve himself for WrestleMania, if they have plans for WrestleMania, I think it would probably be best if he sat a couple weeks out. To be honest with you, I could see them maybe writing him off television or something. But
I'm not sure a write-off is necessary,
or just in a sort of a promo only role.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, have because there was an injury. There was an injury angle. Well, I don't even know if it was an angle, but they did an angle where AJ did hurt his knee, and that was something that he actually sold into. He sold into his backstage promo afterwards on the YouTube channel, and he sold at the end of the show. I think they should go with that knee injury and have him be the mouthpiece for Sami Zayn, who will wrestle in his place for stuff now. But we'll see what happens on Sunday. But I thought that the match between AJ Styles and Sami Zayn was, the last 5 minutes or 4 minutes of that match was phenomenal. I think Sami Zayn is really coming to his own as a heel.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he's doing pretty well. I think he's, as I say, he's a great thespian.
Yeah,
just great in ring worker. Everything. It's just cool. I'm not, happy with the umpteenth Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon segment where there's is there distrust? Maybe. It's this is like the fourth week it's happened where they bumped into each other backstage, and it's like, are you sure you want to do that? And Brian is like, yep, I just did it. And then he's like, well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to do this. And then that's literally how it's gone for the past 6 weeks. So
something's got to break on Sunday, and I think it's either going to be the winner of the Rumble breaking the storyline up, or something that happens in that match, in that championship match, that's going to break it up. But please, you're killing AJ here with having him lose so much on TV. You're killing him, to me. I
think they're trying to put over the fact it's still a handicap match, which I get. Because 2-on-1, your odds dramatically decrease. No one should win a 2-on-1 match. Just by virtue of the stipulation where both people aren't in the ring at the same time is kind of how that handicaps it for the one person.
Yeah.
But really, it's just no one should really ever win that match. So I think they wanted to use that to put over. First they had to put both guys over as contenders, which I was like, did you really have to beat AJ twice? And
Thank you.
Now they're doing it in the same night. It was like, oh, 2 guys, 1 night. Can he do it? Blah.
Just an odd choice. And the thing is, if you would have, after he beat Jinder in November, you couldn't have found a hotter face in the company than AJ Styles. He was hot, even after the Brock match. But I don't think he's won anything meaningful since Clash of Champions.
But then who's he supposed to face that's meaningful? I'm sure we don't even know what their Fastlane match is going to be.
It's supposedly a 5-way with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles, Shinsuke, and Randy Orton. Yeah, supposedly a 5-way, which I'm not excited about that either.
Nah, but it could be fun. I don't know. Could be fun
unless KO is healthy. But speaking of Jinder, as if there was any more proof that this is over. One of the Singh brothers is injured.
Tore his entire ACL. I watched it happen. I was like, oof. Rough.
Yeah, and he walked on it last week when it happened. He tried walking on it.
Yeah, he tried to walk. He fell, and then the other Singh brother had to be like, all right, well, I guess he's not coming. So I have to go get him.
Is there any question that either Dolph Ziggler is going to return at the Rumble to throw out either Jinder or Bobby Roode to continue that feud, or that he's going to come back on SmackDown after the Tuesday after Rumble to spark this feud again? I'm really dead in the water on all 3 characters, whether it be Jinder, Bobby, or Ziggler, which is what I think they're going for.
You know what? I think we could use Ziggler. I hope he doesn't surprise return. I think everyone's trying to call it, and maybe it's right. But I kind of hope he stays out for a little bit longer. I could wait until the night after WrestleMania for Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I don't know. A night after Mania, or 2 nights after Mania in SmackDown's case, return for Ziggler. Yeah. I don't know if that's going to get a pop. I don't know.
I think he'll get a pop. I think he'll be away long enough.
But moving from SmackDown, we'll get into our Royal Rumble predictions. Are you ready?
Wait! You got to talk about the mixed match challenge, baby. Come on.
I didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
You didn't watch it? Of course I watched it. What? The Miz and Asuka saving those rescue dogs? Like, are you kidding me?
Those dogs are not getting fucking rescued. I'm telling you.
Those dogs are as good as gold for at least one more round. God bless them dogs, man. Like,
I heard it was a fun match.
It was a very fun match. Asuka really animated. Big E and Carmella. Surprisingly enough, I think Carmella works well as a face. She worked as a face in NXT, and I think it worked there. And then they changed her to heel once Nikki Bella came in, and they just didn't want to compare backwards hats or whatever.
Yeah,
but I think she works better. I think people will dig her more as a face, but especially considering we're waiting for her to cash in this Money in the Bank. But also, I don't know. But it worked pretty well. I think it was pretty fun.
Who won?
The Miz and Asuka.
I was fucking with you already. I mean, I've made it clear that Asuka's Teflon throughout this whole thing. Like, she's Teflon.
But you know what? But Big E and Carmella aren't out the race, and neither are Shinsuke Nakamura and Natalya, because there is an opportunity for a team to be voted back into the second round. It's going to be almost as if you didn't lose the second round, which makes no fucking sense.
Yep.
But you know what? Here we are.
I am very concerned, and I know they said that the show did over 1 million over the week.
You're right.
But I mean, they use on all platforms. They stress the on all platforms thing, which it's good. But that show didn't hit over 80,000 last night, from what I heard, and I'm super concerned. I'm concerned about it. But also, they didn't promote it either. Like they have been. So we'll see. Again, you're asking people who have just watched 2 hours of wrestling and 3 hours the night before. They know they have another 3 hours from Wednesday to on Saturday when Takeover happens, and then 5 hours on Sunday to watch one 20-minute segment on Facebook.
On Facebook. Listen, they get this, bro. They had Michael Cole teaching us how to use Facebook, and it was amazing. He taught me something I didn't know. He was like, hey, if you want to get all the emojis out of the screen, just swipe left. And I was like, thank you, Michael Cole. But next week, we've got Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss versus Sami Zayn and Becky Lynch. And I think that's going to be a match that people want to see. I think, considering how fun this tournament is, I think all 4 of those can have fun. And Braun and Sami are going to be fucking incredible together. I'll watch Sammy, that.
I
think it's going to be really, really good.
I'll definitely watch that. But again, let's get into our Rumble predictions.
The Royal Rumble, yes, let's do this.
Yeah, let's. How about we get into the people that have declared? Well, how do you want to do it? Do you want to do the actual match first, or do you want to do the undercard matches, and we'll do our predictions from there?
Let's do the undercard.
Okay. So the undercard matches we have that are announced, because there are 2 canceled matches now. Obviously, the Cruiserweight Championship match has been canceled, and the U.S. title tournament match was pushed up on January 16th. So obviously, it's not happening now. Bobby Roode won that. So now the only things that are announced now, other than the Rumble matches, there are 4 more matches announced. The Usos versus Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin for the SmackDown Tag Champions. What say you, Meelz?
Oh, God, I'm going to go with... I'd be surprised if the Usos win, considering what happened a few weeks ago.
What do you mean?
I feel like they're due a punishment.
Oh, they've been losing.
Jey Uso getting pulled over for a DWI. That's not cool.
I think that them losing on TV clean 2 weeks in a row is
and they will lose a third when they lose these tag team championships.
I think they'll get them back. I think they'll get them back.
Not to drive while intoxicated.
It was just one of them.
Yeah, they're twins. A couple of years prior, the other one got busted for the exact same thing. That's how you know they're twins.
Oh, so they're alcoholic twins. They're alky twins. Jesus Christ.
They get a little, off the bubbly a little bit, but you know what? Keep it under control. Keep it under wraps, my friend. I'm going with Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin.
I'm not going to bet against. I'm not going to bet against the Usos. I did that on the Hell in a Cell match. I've done that for the past couple of months when they've had a title match coming up. I think they see the Usos as the bar, so to speak, ironically. Mm-hmm. But I think they see them as the bar of what tag teams should be and what they should aspire to be in the company as far as work rate goes. And I think that there is a lot more to the storyline to come after this. But like 2 out of 3 Falls match is a pretty definitive match. So I think that even if they do lose, it's not over because they'll obviously get their rematch clause. So going into WrestleMania, I think that we'll see either one of the 2 teams have the belt going in anyway, but I think the Usos will win it on Sunday.
It would give Gable and Benjamin so much more heat if they actually won.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Like I wouldn't be mad with either outcome because I know the match is going to be fire. So yeah. I'll just say that much. The next match is Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan versus The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Real bewildering match to me. I don't really care to see Seth Rollins against those 2 again. I've seen it. We've seen it for the past almost 6 months at this point with The Bar and Seth Rollins. I don't think there's much that they can do after that. The Jason Jordan thing, however, is what gives me pause because I think that he could really put an interesting wrinkle on this. And that I think that there will either be a twist or that there will either be a turn or something of the sort that will draw them to actually lose the titles to Cesaro and Sheamus.
I feel like we haven't gotten to the turn yet, or at least a bona fide hint towards the turn. Like they haven't been in peril and he feels like he's a weaker team member. Yeah. But, I feel like this is just something that should just happen on Raw and not on a pay-per-view. Because it's happened on Raw and not a pay-per-view for so many weeks now. Yeah. I'm probably going to go with Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan retaining.
What could I say here? How about yes, they will retain because you got to get Cesaro and Sheamus out of the picture. I'll take that. Yeah. I think that you'll have something where maybe Jason Jordan tags himself in, he takes the glory, and that kind of starts setting up the seeds. Because you know what? I think that the Balor Club are getting those titles.
I think we're gonna have tag team champion versus tag team champion at WrestleMania.
Oh Lord, no.
That's what I think.
Just the idea of Seth going from Triple H last year to Jason Jordan this year.
It also does not sit well with me. Yeah. Considering we have Kurt Angle right there, and I'm sure Kurt Angle is doing wind sprints and wondering what he's going to do for WrestleMania. But yeah,
he's not getting Hunter. He's not getting Hunter. We know that for sure. No. I don't know if there'll be tag team champions when that happens, but I do believe that the Balor Club is getting that win back in some way, shape, or form, and I think that they're going to get. I think that I could see that Anderson and Gallows are going to get those titles, and I think Finn might get the IC title coming out of it.
I could see that.
The next match is AJ Styles, and we just spoke about this, but AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn handicap match for the WWE Championship. Listen, I think it'll be a great match. I think there's going to be a lot of overbooking in this match because it happened last month.
Well, theatrics, you mean?
Yes, way too much. I don't know. I think AJ is going to retain. I don't think there's nothing.
AJ Styles is going to retain.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything in my mind that will have him lose that belt. I do believe that if you do have him lose it makes the Shane and Bryan thing a lot more interesting.
Oh yeah, way more interesting.
You also have AJ Styles lose for a complete entire month to these two guys, which is ridiculous to me. Never bet against AJ Styles.
That's true. I'm not going to bet against him here. AJ Styles.
We're all on the AJ Styles. So everyone.
We're going to be so shocked when Sami Zayn's WWE champion. Oh my god.
I think it would be cool.
We never saw it coming. I think we shitted on him for months.
But I don't know if Road Dogg will get Vince's go ahead to do that. So I don't think that's going to happen.
No. We're not going to see a skying WWE champion. That's not what we're going to see.
Yeah. The next match is Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman versus Kane. Listen, Brock Lesnar. Do we have to say anything else?
No, I think Braun will make the match lit because it's fucking Braun Strowman. Just one of the more underrated workers of our time, I guess. The unicorn of the WWE. But yeah, it's Brock Lesnar easily.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. I don't think anyone gives two shits about this feud or this match.
How long? Let's do over under on how long this match will last.
9 minutes and 10 seconds.
I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go with 13 minutes.
All right, here we go. 9 minutes, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
All right. And let's get to the actual Rumble matches. Let's start off with the women's Rumble match. And I'll just go ahead and name off who is already in the match. So get ready for the roll call. First up is Naomi, Asuka, Ruby Riott, Natalya, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Carmella, Tamina, Lana, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Mickie James, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Alicia Fox, and Dana Brooke.
That is only 18 participants in a 30-person Royal Rumble.
Well, it was 19, but Paige is out.
This is true. We only have 19. Well, we have 21 women on the roster.
Yeah,
Two of them are champions. One of them will not be in it for undisclosed reasons.
Yeah. Dubious reasons, if you will.
Dubious reasons. You know, that's a little foreshadowing. So we have 18. So the question is, who are the other 12 that are going to occupy this match?
Yeah.
Will WWE find 12 working women?
This is the most interesting match of the show to me, bar none, but more than the men's Rumble to me,
because it's the first time it's happening.
Yeah, it's the first time. I want to see who they're going to bring out, and I also want to see who they're going to go with to win the first one. Like if Charlotte was in this match, I don't give a fuck. I thank you. I don't give a fuck what you told me. It could have been motherfucking the Fabulous Moolah in that bitch. Charlotte was going to win that match.
Charlotte was going over. Yeah. I'm 100% sure.
But now it makes it interesting because I would love to say, and my prediction will stand, that it will be Asuka that walks out of that as the winner. But I could also say that it could be somebody else. Like I think it's either Asuka or Becky Lynch. But I think
that's my two. That's my two as well.
I think it's just stupid to have Asuka in the match if you're gonna have her, like, unless you're gonna fuck her over, to do that.
I think we get Asuka. I think it's Asuka. It has to be Asuka. It can't be anybody else.
Yeah,
it can't be Becky Lynch. I mean, unless
Becky and Charlotte is a dope fucking fit. Like, here's the thing, like. Everyone's saying Ronda's going to show up at the Rumble. She's not. I don't think she's going to show. She'll be in the crowd. You think they're going to blow her first thing? And a lot of people might say, well, AJ Styles was blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, but that was different than a Ronda Rousey. You know, like right. this is a different instance or a different circumstance.
Also, we have to talk about a little extra breaking news. Stephanie McMahon will be calling this match,
which is Angle City, right? Like obviously, there's an angle coming out of this.
If she screams, "What a maneuver!" I am rolling over in my grave. Like,
as I'm watching the 2012 Royal Rumble as we're doing this review. The Miz was number 1.
How long did he last? Had to be.
Don't say an hour. Don't say a fucking hour. The Miz was number 1. It's so crazy.
The Miz ain't going an hour. I love the Miz. That dude is not going an hour.
It's so crazy to look at his evolution throughout all of these Rumbles when he had the stupid mohawk and now he has the stupid leather jacket and now where he is right now.
All right, it's a little thing called fashion, okay?
All right, cool. But anyway, back to the Women's Rumble. I don't think Ronda's coming out, or at least is going to be a guest there. Nor I think we're going to get a lot of NXT. I for sure think that the fabulous or the iconic duo are showing up. I think they're going to the main roster next week.
I could see the iconic duo. We haven't seen much of them on NXT.
They're gone. They're gone.
They're gone?
I think they're gone. I think they're gone. Like, this is the way NXT always does it. If it's not like a big major marquee act, they're like, it's the same way they did with Liv and Ruby and all of those people. Like, they'll slowly write them out and then they'll just be gone from NXT and they'll probably do like one more match at the taping.
Okay. I think we could see that. We could see, who do you think from NXT? I think
not Ember. You don't waste Ember. Don't waste Shayna. Don't waste Kairi Sane. That's all I ask. You can have anyone else.
I could see Nikki Cross.
For sure. You can do her. Mm-hmm.
Gosh, oh, wow. All right, I'm not going to tell you how long Miz lasted in your Rumble, but
Alex Riley just showed up, so that's literally letting you know what was popping in 2012. But
what was popping? Oh my god. Let's see. And then Legends. I'm hearing Molly Holly.
That's cool. Serena Deeb would be cool. I'm
hearing Serena Deeb. People will also be like, huh?
Unless she's bald, they don't know who the fuck she is.
Yeah, pretty much. Gosh, who do I think? We were talking about, possibly Medusa.
That'd be cool. Can she still go?
She's injured, is she? No, she's not. Is she?
No, she's not injured, bro. Come on, man. She's not injured. I think Trish Stratus for sure. I think Trish Stratus is going to be in the East Coast for the whole week with them this week.
Or maybe Lita.
Is Lita's neck injury still is that still her thing?
Lita's neck injury is still a thing, but she's still she's been active in the ring. She hasn't been super active. I could see her in a Royal Rumble, but I also wouldn't know how she would eliminate herself.
She's not moonsaulting or anything, bro. That's.
But she has moonsaulted since her neck. She's moonsaulted since she's retired. She's done it.
Yeah.
She did it at I think Raw's 15th anniversary, but or maybe it was Raw 1000. I don't remember. It was one of those shows. But oh gosh, you know what? I think we're counting on too much having Trish Stratus and Lita in the same one.
Yeah. I think they got to save some people. They got to save some people for next year. And I completely agree with you.
Maybe Nikki Bella or Brie Bella.
That'd be cool. We didn't mention them during Raw 25, but they were there also. Yeah, I think that's cool. And again, it's completely up in the air. I think that out of the Raw, if Asuka doesn't win this, it's because they're going to give her the belt on Raw or something like that, or the pay-per-view. I absolutely believe, and I'm confident in Asuka getting that belt before WrestleMania. I think that's going to happen.
I think it's possible as well.
I think it's going, and we might see Nia Jax in Asuka at Mania. I think that's a better match than a lot of people are thinking it could be, but I think it's time for Alexa to drop that belt. But and then if you have Becky come out of it, obviously you get Becky and Charlotte, which they have history there, and I think would be a really cool storyline with Becky turning heel and not Charlotte.
I'm looking at this match. It doesn't have too much star power just from the original announcees. I could see a face-off, maybe Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. But it's not something where you're clamoring. It's oh god, the SmackDown girls versus the Raw girls. You could do Naomi, Sasha, Team Bad.
You could do Asuka, Nia Jax. Obviously, there could be the Riot Squad doing their thing, or Riot Squad versus Absolution, which would be kind of handicapped a little bit. Ooh, it's a bad word to say, even though whatever. But you obviously you have the Absolution and Riot Squad face off happening, and all types of things like that. Or if there's
Let's see how it goes. I hope the crowd is hot. If the crowd is hot, I think it'll make the match better.
Yeah, and then you have Asuka's beat all these women. So I think anything like Asuka Bayley face off would be dope. Asuka Sasha face off would be dope. All these ladies would be really cool. But
I think this match is heavily dependent on who the surprise entrants are, because if WWE flops it, it will not be a memorable or a match people want to talk about the next day.
Yeah. Going into the men's Royal Rumble, the participants so far are Elias, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, John Cena, Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, Rusev, Aiden English, Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, The Miz, Ty Dillinger, Big E, or the whole New Day. They declared on Tuesday. Interesting match. There is star power in this match. I will say that.
There is.
It is
not a lot,
star-studded.
but there is.
Well, we're not getting another.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
We're not getting another Goldberg and Undertaker stare down ever again. So I think that's out of the question.
I'm wondering what's their strategy in keeping most of the entrants just unknown.
They don't know. That's my thing. They literally. I think Jericho for sure.
I think Jericho. Yeah, Jericho will foam at the mouth of being at the Royal Rumble and Wrestle Kingdom in the same month.
Yeah, I think Jericho for sure will show up. Let's be clear here. Motherfuckers are saying, why would Jericho ever come back to WWE? Why the fuck wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he? What are you insane?
That? Why?
Do you not know how money and
yeah, he's the same dude that asked Vince permission to even do the Wrestle Kingdom match. So like, why wouldn't he come back?
Said he didn't because I think he's a liar. I think
professional liar.
Professional liar. I think he fake books Fozzy shows all the time to throw people off of his trail when he wants to return. He's like, oh no, Fozzy's having a show in Memphis. I'm like, who's booking Fozzy? No offense.
No fucking body, bro. As Justin Gabriel runs out. Wow, remember Justin Gabriel, the Darewolf? Wow.
Justin Gabriel, man.
Crazy.
God.
But I think there's obviously a short list here. And Roman hasn't declared, but I think it's pretty much a given that he will declare, if not tomorrow, then on Sunday he'll be in that match.
A little cell phone video. I'm Roman Reigns. I'll be.
I think Roman Reigns has a flip phone. That motherfucker can't do that. Roman Reigns has a flip phone.
Roman Reigns, T9 and shit. Right? He's texting in a T9.
He's tweeting from Twitter for Razor, my nigga. Like he is not. He's not tweeting from an iPhone.
My god!
I just go ahead and put Roman in this match because I think that's pretty much. And I think you put the rest of the Balor Club in the match too. I think you put Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows in there. That gives you 20. That gives you 20 right there.
Do you throw in a Braun Strowman? Do you throw in a Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn?
I don't think either of those. Here's the thing. I think Sami might. I don't think Kevin might do it. I think that there's something that's going to happen to Braun that keeps him out of that match 100%. Because Braun would take all of the guesswork out of the match. I think that Braun's going to get fucked up in that match or something's going to come out. And actually, I was listening to the John Pollock Wade Ting podcast. He believes that he would like to see like Hunter come out and fuck Braun over and then cause him to not make the match. And I think that's a great idea too.
I think that's, I don't think that will happen, but I think eventually we are pointing towards Triple H versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah. I don't think Braun will be in it for some strange reason. But remember they decide whether they want to do that in and out, whether they want to have the person do 2 matches in a night or whether they don't. I think you also have to. Actually, you know what? The more I think about it, you could fill this up right now. Jinder Mahal for sure is going to be in it. Mm-hmm. Bobby Roode's for sure going to be in it. Baron Corbin, all these people. Well, I already said Baron Corbin, but like all these people are going to be. Ty Dillinger, like all these people are going. They're all going to be in it. Jinder's going to be in this fucking match.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to figure out, like, all right, who's answering our calls? Who is able enough to get in a ring and be a surprise entrant? Or is Rob Van Dam picking up the phone?
Oh, Lord. He only comes back for Royal Rumbles. I've been watching so many Royal Rumbles. He's come back at like 3. He's like,
oh, is it? And then people speculating, is Rob Van Dam pitching a return? He was like, no.
Nah, I can't do it this year. I got a divorce, baby.
For the check.
Alimony brazy.
Listen, a good Santino Marella appearance.
No, is there any surprises left on the men's side that like NXT? Could some of NXT realistically come down? Like, would Velveteen Dream?
Sullivan.
Velveteen Dream would pop the whole crowd. Velveteen would pop the crowd.
He would, but I don't think it would be. I think Vince loves bringing. I think he would bring a Lars Sullivan. He's like, my God, damn it, get him on the main roster. I need him in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I mean, just look at him. God damn it. That's my...
Lars Sullivan would be dope.
Lars Sullivan doing cool things. He would... Listen, do we want to preview NXT Philadelphia?
Holy shit, I forgot there was a takeover. Yeah,
we all forget, baby. It's NXT night. I'm about to go watch it soon.
We can do that after. So who do you think is going to win? I think obviously on the short list you'd obviously have Finn Balor, you'd have John Cena, you'd have Shinsuke Nakamura. Those are the 3 favorites that Vegas is betting on right now. Out of the 3,
what about Daniel Bryan? My God,
oh my God, he's like 4th or 5th now. I think it's actually getting lower for him as far as odds go. As the day comes, I'm like, as if there was a question. Yeah, no, like I think as if there was a question that was going to happen. I think Shinsuke Nakamura is gonna. He's the only person that makes sense, and I think you make him hot by having him throw out a Finn Balor, having him eliminate John Cena, and having him eliminate Roman Reigns to win.
I think we're going to go with... All right, so I'm choosing Roman Reigns. But considering Roman Reigns isn't on this, I'm going to say John Cena.
Okay.
3rd time in a row. Not 3rd time in a row, but 3rd time. I say John Cena wins it. He's booked for plenty of Raws moving forward. I could see him winning the match and just having that what if of who is he going to challenge? Is it going to be AJ Styles and sort of rekindle that thing, or Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
But then I don't know. It's kind of stupid. I don't know. Roman Reigns. Why are we trying to get out of Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns?
Well, we're not, because he doesn't have to win the Rumble to get to Brock. They have Elimination Chamber next month.
Oh, that's true.
You don't have like Roman's got an out if he gets eliminated, and I'm not. Trust me saying Nakamura does not mean I'm trying to avoid the obvious. The obvious is going to happen. There's going to be Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, but you have to make the SmackDown guy hot too. And I think that's John Cena. John Cena. I don't think he's going for a belt. I don't think that he's going for a belt at all at WrestleMania. I don't know what he's doing. I think there's still a chance that Samoa Joe will be healthy enough for that match to happen, though.
You know what? I really have no fucking idea.
Isn't that the best though? Like, I think it's like, I'm gonna go with the. And the thing is, like, go with the predictable pick. You know, like, I don't see what's wrong with going with the.
It's Roman Reigns for me.
It's and you know what? It's either Roman Reigns, it's either Shinsuke Nakamura, it's either John Cena. To me.
Yeah, I think, and it's not that it's exciting because I don't know who wins, but to me, it's like, it could be fucking anybody. That's how I feel. It's not, hey, damn, it could be anybody. It's like, I guess it could be anybody. It
can't be anybody. It can be those four guys. It could be Nakamura, Cena, Balor, or Reigns. It could be those four guys. I think Reigns. Honestly, to keep it 100. I think that's our final four. If you want to keep it 100, you get the Roman Reigns and Shinsuke Nakamura showdown that we've never seen before, and I think that gets Shinsuke over, and that makes Roman. He doesn't have to look bad in defeat because it's Shinsuke fucking Nakamura.
I'm not completely sure about that.
We'll see what happens on Sunday. I obviously I wouldn't be mad either way. If it's Roman, I expected that. If it's Shinsuke, I expected that. Cena will throw me off. I feel like they don't need to go crazy this time with the men's Rumble. Look at the past winners, like Randy Orton last year. They were doing way too much as far as trying to swerve us. They don't need to do that this year.
Yeah.
Give it to us straight.
I don't know. I like the Randy Orton thing. I think they were trying to tell a really, really good story.
And they blew it.
Got messed up really, really towards the end. But last year, I really liked the Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, AJ Styles, will he, won't he. It made SmackDown very interesting because at some point you definitely did think, wow, it's going to be AJ Styles versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. People legit thought that. And then Randy Orton was like, actually, no, I'm using my Royal Rumble match and I'm burning down your house. Like, it was this long thought out. It's probably the most thought that WWE has put in, or even just long term. It started in September. It ended, goddamn, in May or something. Like, it was the most thought WWE put in a storyline in a very, very, very long time.
Listen, that was when SmackDown was good. You're talking about an era that is long gone, my friend. SmackDown is not good anymore. They're not thinking that deep. You have to go with the easy pick there. I think Cena is booked on those Raws because he's going against Elias on the way out. Like, he's going against Elias on those Raws.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah, that's why you can't say him. Yeah, that's why you can't. But yeah, okay, that was the men's Rumble. NXT Takeover Philadelphia. Listen, NXT's been one of my favorites, or has been my favorite, or one of my favorite shows on TV, and for the past 2 months, I, without a doubt, have the most faith in Takeover. The only reason I even forgot this shit was happening was literally because I don't even think that it's going to be a bad show. There's no way it can be a bad show. I love the card already, but let's go through the card. It was just announced by Triple H at on a phone conference about an hour ago that we are getting Cassius Ohno versus the Velveteen Dream. Obviously, this was just announced now, but you want to get Velveteen Dream on the show. He was injured. He's been injured for the past 3 months. Yeah. And he's going against Cassius Ohno. I think it'll be a great match, but I think that Cassius Ohno is a person on the show that he beats the guys that he's supposed to beat, and when it comes to the guys that are above him, he doesn't win. So I think that Velveteen's going to win that match.
I think it'll be good development for Velveteen Dream. Just another strong worker he's in the ring with, and put on another amazing match and sort of build the equity of Velveteen Dream.
Yeah, I see him getting the title this year for sure.
Just because I know we're looking at the same card. I know there was something between Killian Dane and Lars Sullivan, but I don't know if it's amounted to a match.
It hasn't, because it hasn't been announced. And I was thinking the same thing. I thought it would have happened already. It has not, and I'm wondering if they're saving that for tapings, because Roderick Strong's called him out too.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's.
But we usually get 5. We usually get five a takeover anyway. So that would be the 5, right?
Yeah.
Anything else would be longer than the 2-hour limit. But the next match is the Undisputed Era of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Team Championships. I think it's a foregone conclusion that the Authors of Pain are out of there. I think that you have the Undisputed Era beat them in order to not only write them off, but to give them a big quality win to go into the next phase, which I believe will be TM61.
I think Adam Cole will be instrumental in the Authors of Pain losing this match, because I don't think they don't really lose clean too often.
Yeah.
And I think just, to me, I'm looking at this match, I'm just like, woof. They both, I think the Philly crowd will be hot for them, but these are Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly haven't been fully established. The Authors of Pain aren't known.
This is a smart crowd. This is a smart crowd, by the way. This is a smart crowd, so they know who Fish and O'Reilly are. So I don't think that even matters.
I just don't know if the match will have the same energy as. But
it's Takeover.
It could be a hard hitting match.
It's Takeover. What do you mean? It's gonna be hot.
I'm not completely sold on the Authors of Pain versus the Undisputed Era. That's why.
It's going to be a hot match. I think that the Authors of Pain have built up an equity, as you say, like with this crowd already. I think it'll be a great match. I think Authors of Pain are one of the most underrated tag teams in the company in general and period. Just from working with guys like Gargano and Ciampa and the Revival, they've learned how to pace matches out better. Even the matches they had against Sanity, they were paced better, and they were paced excellently. Even the match they had against the Street Profits, which are guys that are technically lower than them, was a pretty good match, and it was a pretty watchable match. I think with ring generals like O'Reilly and Fish, who are two excellent guys who are literally the best tag team in the world to me, I think they can drag this match to at least 4 stars. I think it'll be a great match, but I do think that the Undisputed Era will be writing them off. Authors of Pain have been there far too long. It's time for them to go, and that's what's going to happen. The next match is the NXT Women's Championship match. This is going to be the most interesting one, and I think the next 2 matches will be interesting. Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler. This storyline kind of started off from Shayna Baszler bullying the women's division. She basically baited Ember Moon into putting her title up just to get revenge on her, and it's led to this match, which will be Ember Moon's first defense of the women's title, or actually no, second or third. I think it was second because she won against Sonya Deville, but her first defense at an NXT Takeover event. What do you think is going to happen, Meelz?
I think it will be her last defense at an NXT Takeover event. Shayna Baszler, I don't even see this match going long. I see Shayna Baszler blindsiding her, putting on that chokehold, getting her out of there immediately. I liked how they booked Shayna Baszler just now, but I don't know if they're in the spot where they do this long form thing. I think if Shayna Baszler takes her by surprise, it adds an element of surprise to the show, unpredictability. I think and I don't know if Shayna Baszler's developed to the point. I don't think this feud has developed to the point where they want to have these long back and forth 4-star matches.
But if you say it's not developed enough, then why would you give her the belt now?
Oh, because I think she can hold the belt. Like, I think she's a champion who can she's someone who can hold the belt. She doesn't need to have these long matches to do that. I think people are looking for the chokehold. I think she's an asshole too, which NXT hasn't fully had as a champion in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Asuka was a bit of a jerk sometimes, but she was roughly beloved. But you have the Shayna Baszler who can sort of crush Ember Moon's dreams instantly. I'm going with Shayna Baszler, yeah.
It's interesting. I love Shayna Baszler. I think she's a great heel. I think she's a heel. Like you said, this is the first NXT heel that is actually a heel. It's actually a dope heel since Sasha, honestly.
Yeah.
I am not sold on her winning.
You got Ronda coming in soon, bro. Come on.
Nah, man. I'm not sold on Shayna winning. I'm with this match going to either a no contest or ending in some fucked up fashion.
I could see that.
Kairi Sane is cleared, so she's not injured anymore. I think that's why they wrote her off the other week with the Shayna Baszler attack. She is cleared. Something might happen with her. I think this ends up being a 3-way or a multi-woman match, or at the very least, Ember and Kyrie in New Orleans. So I just don't see Shayna getting the belt this early. I think it's going to be a really competitive match. I think it's going to be a long match. And I also think that it's going to go to a no contest where either there's a stoppage or there's something that happens where she doesn't exactly get the belt, but she does get a moral victory. And I'm talking about Shayna there.
I could see just some reason if it goes long, Ember Moon goes for the Eclipse, and then just that chokehold, and it's a wrap. It's all that she wrote.
And again, like I've been saying all this whole episode, I wouldn't be mad at it. I just don't. I think if you want to have this feud continue, you have it not inconclusively like that. I don't think you beat Ember like that, and when she's been trying to get this belt for like 2 years.
That's probably not the way NXT does things, but then again, they did it with Sami Zayn. I don't know. I could go with Shayna being the champion, and then just the division sort of being like just North now sort of just forming around that in terms of contenders for the championship and new faces and everyone coming in and things like that. Just developing these new stars to sort of get that. And they have a lot of talent. They have a lot of talent who could, and essentially just, have these great matches with Shayna Baszler going forward. They signed a lot of new talent. They have Candice LeRae,
which she has a built-in storyline.
She was choked the hell out of by Shayna Baszler. Yeah. She could be coming for revenge.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's a built-in storyline there, and I absolutely agree with you. So we'll have to see what happens. That's the first most interesting match. Actually, no, the last 3 matches will be interesting on that show. The next matches will be Aleister Black and Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match. Of course, this started after Aleister beat Adam Cole in the NXT title tournament, and then it extended into the 4-way match that Aleister had when Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era came out, whipped his ass, and caused Aleister to basically suffer his first loss to Johnny Gargano. And it basically made the impetus of this match to start. An Extreme Rules match, I think it's going to be fucking crazy. I think it's awesome that they give Adam Cole these really great matches that a shit heel like him would excel in, like War Games where he could have weapons, and then an Extreme Rules match where he can cheat a lot. And I think that's going to really help this match out a great bit. As far as the winner, I think the only way you can have this feud continue is if you have Adam Cole win and then have Aleister win in a one-on-one match in New Orleans.
I think it's going to be a fun match, and I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be brutal. I think Adam Cole wins just with, the Undisputed Era. I think we go by the numbers, and they prove their dominance that way.
Yeah.
I think we get Adam Cole winning.
And the thing is, a loss to Aleister will not hurt him because he is absolutely over. He's still a threat. He was undefeated for almost half a year, and I think that again he gets his win back from Aleister from that other match, and then it allows them to have the rubber match either on a taping or in New Orleans. Even though I think that it's going to be Black or Cole and Almas, or Black and Almas in New Orleans, leading to Cole winning the title pretty soon or within the next couple of months. I think it's going to be a great match. I'm glad that you agree that you think Adam Cole is winning. I think he needs to win, honestly. I think he needs that match to go his way in his favor, just to kind of build him up as like the top heel of NXT coming in after Almas. So we're going into the main event here, and I think this is the most interesting match on the show to me. Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT title. I think this match is going to be fucking incredible, without a doubt.
I think so too.
Their past 2 matches have been amazing. Giving them 25 to 30 minutes. Watch out, New Japan, motherfucker. Like I think it's going to be crazy. Just the amount of storyline that is going into this match is crazy. Just having Gargano build himself back up from losing to Almas twice, from losing and going on a losing streak to coming back and winning a number one contendership. It's been to me it's like a Daniel Bryan story almost in NXT, to having Johnny Gargano be in that position. And then you have the elephant in the room, which is Tommaso Ciampa.
I think that's what probably everyone is thinking. And I think Triple H knows everyone is thinking that.
Yeah.
So he'll attempt to swerve it out the way, but I think we're going to get it, eventually anyway. I see Almas winning.
Yes.
I see Almas winning. I see, and maybe if Ciampa isn't ready to return, you have Gargano continue to chase the belt. But I just see it's Andrade's time.
I think Ciampa's ready. I think he's ready to, or if not ready to be physical in the ring, I think he is nearly there. I think it's been about a year now, almost. I think it's time for him to come back right now. I think what you do is you do the t-shirt spot. Okay, you do the t-shirt spot that she did the first time, right? And then you have Gargano be like, "No, I'm not. We're not falling for that again." Then you do like, what was the other spot she did in the second match? She did another spot that fucked him up.
I think it wasn't another t-shirt, wasn't it?
Was it? Was it another t-shirt? I cannot remember what the other thing Zelina did. Zelina's going to be a big part in this match. But I think the last thing that hits, you have the old DIY music hit. And then maybe you don't have him come out. Or maybe you have him come out and be at the top of the ramp, and that's how Gargano loses. And I think that's the perfect way to end this off, because I think that Gargano and Ciampa in New Orleans is going to ring the fuck off.
I agree.
So,
I 100% agree.
Yeah, Takeover should be a great show, and I think that's everything that's happened this week or is going to happen this week. As always, we're going to have the full rundown for you next week on the A Show. But before we leave, me and Meelz have been watching Royal Rumbles all week just to tell you guys what Rumble to watch to get ready for this weekend.
Gosh, it's so many. Why don't you start?
I always start. I already knew.
Sometimes I start and then I don't know where I'm going and what we're doing now. So I ask you to start.
I would advise everyone to watch. To me, I'll give them two. I would advise you to watch the Royal Rumble 98, which featured Austin's his coming out party. It was really like, I know everyone says it was like 97. 98 was really the one for me. I think 98 was the one where it was like he put the bounty on Austin's head, motherfucker. Like he was basically Goku, my nigga. Like he fucked all them niggas up. That was a great match, but it also had the excellent, and I'll go 5 on this one. I'll go 5 stars on this one. HBK Undertaker casket match, because I don't know how the fuck Shawn Michaels, knowing what we know now about what was wrong with his back, I don't know how he did half of the shit in that match for the next 15-20 minutes after he hit his back on that casket. Insane. He's one of the greatest of all time. The second Rumble is the 2006 Rumble. Not a stellar show on paper, but maybe the best Royal Rumble match in history. It featured Rey Mysterio going for over an hour to get that Eddie push, man. It was an Eddie push to win the match. Eddie push. Great fucking pay-per-view.
I'm going to go with, I think the 2002 Royal Rumble has a lot of great moments in it. And I think that's what makes it pretty great. Eventual winner was Triple H, but I think it just has a lot of great moments. You had a return of Goldust, Val Venus, and Mr. Perfect. You had, the moment where Maven eliminates The Undertaker. You had the reunion of the Hardys. You had a great, fatal, I think last 4 was Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Mr. Perfect, and Kurt Angle. And it was just like a really great, it was a really great match, really well paced, really moving forward.
Yeah.
And probably another one that I would say is, if you do not, well, actually, you know what? The 2016 one, the one where the WWE Championship was on the line.
Oh, that was, you know what? That was actually a good Rumble. I'll watch that next.
That was a good Rumble. And you get to the final 2 with Triple H and Dean, and it's magic, and you see why they ended up booking that match at Roadblock like a month or a month and a half later. But it was just magic. It was just, everything was on the line, everything meant something, and It was a great Rumble match. To be honest, the last 2 years have been really good.
What?
Last year was really good.
Name me one moment from last year that you thought was fire.
I thought the stare down between Goldberg and The Undertaker was really good.
Okay, that was a good moment.
I thought that's something you're never going to see happen. You saw Goldberg eliminate Brock Lesnar. Braun Strowman came in. Braun Strowman was eliminated by Baron Corbin.
They've not brought that up since.
My God. And it was a good one, too. You had Ty Dillinger come in as number 10. A lot of cool moments. John Cena was in it. I think he was.
What was the title match on that show?
John Cena was in the championship match.
Yeah, that was the AJ match that year. That was like one of the only great like WWE matches of 2017 to me. Yeah, I'll watch 2017 today and
watch
see
2017
see
too.
what
Watch
I think.
Do it back to back.
Yeah, I think after I watched 2012, which trust me, Michael Cole is in the ring. Listen, we are spoiled, guys. These like 2010, like early 2010s Royal Rumbles have been completely atrocious. Literally,
God.
How did we watch this show?
How did we watch a 40-man Royal Rumble?
Oh, I'm getting to that one after I watched 2017 because the one that Alberto won. The one that Sheamus won was pretty fucking bad too.
Yeah, the one that Sheamus won, the one that the one that was a 40-man. I thought that one that Edge won was pretty bad too.
Oh, the 2010?
Yeah,
awful.
It was the one that. Yeah.
Awful. It was when he came. That was a comeback year for him too because no one expected it.
That was a comeback, but I think everyone it was just so that one was just so weirdly paced. There was never more than like 6 people in the ring at a time.
Yeah, just weird, weird Rumble. There's been a lot of weird Rumbles. Shit, I thought even 99 coming off 98, which I thought was a perfect Rumble, to 99, which is probably one of the worst Rumbles I've ever seen, where it's like long stretches of time where it's one person in the ring waiting for somebody to come out. Awful shit. Yeah. And I'm really hoping that this year we actually get to see some really cool stare downs and showdowns with people. Hey, the Bludgeon Brothers weren't announced for the Rumble either, so they could be in it too.
I don't support tag teams in the Royal Rumble.
Even though you didn't say shit when I said the New Day was in it.
I don't support them in the Royal Rumble.
You gotta have the Balor Club New Day stare down. I think that's what they're doing this for.
I could see that.
You gotta have that stare down. If Dean was here, you'd have the Shield one, like the real Shield one. But I think we'll get that when he comes back. But that's been another episode of the A Show. I'm super excited about this weekend. I'm very excited, even though the Rumble is kind of lackluster in its push. I think the Takeover is going to be a great show, and I'm really excited to talk about it with you next week, Meelz.
This will be great. I think, man, I just hope the Royal Rumble is good. The Royal Rumble is kind of like pizza.
Hey,
Royal Rumble should never really be bad.
Doesn't Sheamus win this Rumble 2012?
2012, I believe he does. He wins one of them. I know he doesn't win 2013 because I think John Cena won that. And he doesn't win 2011 because Alberto won that. So I'm pretty sure he won 2012.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Well, that's been the A Show, guys.
Gosh.
We will see you guys.
Another week.
We will see you guys next week with the latest and greatest in pro wrestling from the show to watch. That's right. Oh, fuck. I always say watch.
It's a show to listen, baby.
Show to listen
to the other shows on RNC Radio.
Yes, including the RNC Radio. We just dropped an episode today with Ty Howard, who worked with Fixture Drive. He's a Chicago legend, DJ, works on Shade 45. He's a great guy. We talk about Fredo Santana and his legacy, and we also talk about Everyday Struggle and their new host. It's a great episode. I would advise anyone to watch that. You can also watch, or not watch. I say watch. Listen. I'm always saying listen. We're going to have a video podcast one day. Listen to that. You can also listen to past episodes of the A Show on SoundCloud and iTunes. The link is in the bio, and you can also subscribe to us on iTunes. You can do all of that, but you should also subscribe to our Spotify channel as well. We're dropping nothing but fucking heat, and tomorrow we have a RNC R&B playlist curated by the crew. It's gonna be dope. I can't wait to listen to it. It's almost cuffing season, so you already know you got to get your tunes right. So as always, follow RNC Radio, follow all the guys for the latest and greatest. This has been Justin for Meelz, signing off for the A Show. I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the Royal Rumble and be safe.
Happy Rusev Day.